Okay, hi, we're starting a new talk on security operations. It's coming up right now. Exhibitor? Okay. Oh, stay for the swag. It's going to be incredible. Sir, I'll be responding to threats at the speed, sound, scale, and smarts of Google. I added sound because I'm about to give you the smooth sounds of Arno Los.
Thank you so much. I don't know how to follow up an intro like that. Hello everyone, my name is Arno. I'm a customer engineer here at Google Cloud Security. And it is my pleasure to present to you today detecting and responding to threats with Google Speed, Scale, and Smarts. So many of you may be familiar with the protections Google currently offers today from users of the Chrome web browser, either for general browsing purposes or for uses along with Zero Trust and Beyond Core. The protections built into Gmail against phishing, malware, and spam, as well as the community contributions over to VirusTotal as the world's largest repository of IOCs. Google might not be the first name that comes to mind when you think about the security operations running in your enterprise, and that's what we're here to change today, because as we think about a lot of what goes into these operations, right, surfacing that needle in a haystack, stitching together all that telemetry, all of those logs, who can currently do it better than Google and the expertise that they've developed over the years? And so really today we're going to review a suite of 3 products. Chronicle is the security analytics and event telemetry data warehouse. We've got VirusTotal as the world's largest threat observatory, and then of course Simplify for case management and response automation. So really we're going to start out today wearing our analyst hat, seeing what one of these alerts and cases looks like in the Simplify platform with all of the enrichments provided through the automations that have currently taken place. The first thing that I want to go ahead and point out is that we can see here over in the case queue on the left-hand side, we are looking at the top case up there, suspicious activity, and we can see that as we open up this case, we've actually automatically grouped in 2 alerts, providing that extra context to the analyst, right? As we keep in mind as these detections are surfaced, it's oftentimes an intruder traversing the kill chain. They may be, the same intrusion may be surfacing detections across a variety of products that you currently have in your organization. We don't want those to be investigated as one-offs by independent analysts. We'd rather provide the extra context from grouping these related alerts together, showing the analyst really the depth of the incident that they're investigating. So the first alert that we have up there, suspicious activity by a high-risk user, we can see that this has been pulled in from Chronicle through really the event telemetry that's been passed in from CrowdStrike, giving us the ability to surface this detection. As we... Apologies, I don't know why that just happened. Did you send that right I'm going to take a couple of we're going to hit you with the scanner too. They did already? Just waiting for the signal to come back. All right. So as I was saying, we're able to see here the second alert occurring sometime later. This one actually surfaced by Security Command Center. Completely different product, surfacing a completely different detection. We believe that it is related to the original alert that was pulled in. We have therefore gone ahead and grouped these together. As I come over here and I click our little Explorer icon, we can come into our graph investigation view. We're going to be able to see the relationship between the entities, have a better understanding of why the platform chose to go ahead and group these alerts together. So we can see here, clicking on the first alert, having an understanding from the timeline at the bottom, we can see here a user attached to a workstation, and the malicious activity, the file detonation, and then from the hash that was extracted from that file, from the automations that already took place, we can see that that's already been deemed malicious. Sometime later, SEC surfaced an additional detection, the next step in that kill chain. We can see here that same user deploying an IAM account, obviously suspicious, or potentially suspicious activity, let's say, but again, giving an analyst context context regarding, we're not just indicating, or we're not just surfacing a detection regarding one activity. This is an activity that has led to further activity. We may want to go ahead and increase the severity or prioritization of this case. So from here, before we start kind of digging into some of the information that's been surfaced here from the playbook that was attached to these alerts, we're actually going to switch from being an analyst to coming back and taking a look at Chronicle here from an engineering perspective. So Chronicle will be that source of all of the detection logs that are streaming in, having it normalize those logs, stitching together a timeline for you. The important part here is really operating at the speed and scale of Google. Although this is a demo instance, we can see right here down at the bottom, it does have 1.2 petabytes of information that's currently contained therein. I can go ahead and search here for any assets. We have here a popular asset, probably one that many people visit. We're going to go ahead and do a quick search for that. Nothing here has been pre-staged. Whenever I do go ahead and hit this button, it is going to in fact comb over all 1.2 petabytes of information. We're able to see here the speed with which the results are returned, giving us some indications with regards to the timeline of activity, showing us the assets over there on the left-hand side that have reached out to this property, allowing the analyst to pivot in here to further dig into their investigation. What we also overlay on top of this is the ability to surface detections based on a rule set. As we come over here, and we take a look at the rules within Chronicle, we're going to go ahead and pull up this high-risk user alert, or high-risk user. This would be the detection that went ahead and surfaced the alert that was pulled into Simplify. Again, giving us the ability to pull in some additional context around there. We're able to see the various detections here. We're able to see, in this case, the events that led up to the detection. We're able to see a proxy event down here, an EDR event, giving us the ability at any time to pivot off of these properties, digging in a little bit deeper, being presented a timeline of the activity that took place around that user, around their host, at the time that this detection was surfaced. All right, so now we're going to come back into Simplify and we're going to take a look at what happened once these alerts were pulled in. As we're able to see, there was in fact a playbook that was automatically attached, began performing, right, executing those scripts, going out, collecting all of the details that we've decided we'd like to present to the analyst as part of their investigation, preventing them from having to copy, paste, swivel from console to console, ensuring that, right, as this alert was ingested, this playbook automatically attached, took maybe anywhere from 60 to 80 seconds to run, able to present all of that enriched information to the analyst. We'll take a look at that in just a second, but let's go take a look at what goes into one of these playbooks first. All right, a playbook is comprised of 4 main actions. At the very beginning, we have a trigger. This allows you to set the criteria that needs to be met before this playbook will automatically attach to any alert or use case. All of that is fully under your control. There is no right or wrong way to really design a playbook. All kinds of different strategies have been implemented. Again, you have complete control about whether or not you'd like to attach those per use case or per rule, for instance. We can see here, zooming in, we can see some of the activity that's taken place, along with some standard case management, changing the alert priority and stage. We've now gone through a virus total enrichment, Chronicle enrichment, again, surfacing and pulling back details from each of these independent properties. We also have our blue elements, which are those actions, those singular API calls, as well as blocks, which allow us to go ahead and predefine, essentially, workflows that we would like to embed within other playbooks, reusing that component over and over again. As I double click on the block for the virus total enrichment, we can see the steps that actually execute as part of that block executing. This is a component, as we're designing additional playbooks, additional use cases, we can reuse this intelligence, this workflow that we've designed over and over and over again. 6 months, 12 months down the road, something changes, you're able to modify the block once. Every playbook that uses it automatically inherits those changes. And now we also have over here at the end our flow conditions that allow us to go ahead and branch out. This particular playbook, we'll see in just a moment, currently sitting on this step. Really, we can see from the actions that have already taken place, some of those enrichments, we've now reached a step where we want to go ahead and reach out to the analyst, providing them guidance, asking them to make a decision with regards to what needs to happen next in triaging this alert. We'll circle back around to this as we go review the case here quickly. right, so now we're able to take a look at the output, what is actually presented to the analyst as a product of those enrichment actions running. What we're able to see here is, again, alert summary block at the top, giving us the ability to call out those pertinent event details. We were able to see within Chronicle, this was a combination of network activity along with an EDR detection, able to see both of those events listed here. From those other enrichment steps that took place, able to reach out to MITRE, again, providing some guidance to the analyst with regards to the technique that was used in this particular alert. In this case, reaching out to CrowdStrike, performing some of those host enrichment details, verifying that the agent is the latest, understanding that it's still active, and then really going through also performing a user enrichment, in this case against G Suite, as well as running all of the IOCs that we've identified through VirusTotal, again surfacing the fact that the hash that was present here has been deemed malicious by VirusTotal. We're easily able to pull up additional details from the report that's included here, including the related IOCs and the graph view at any time, also giving us the ability to pivot from Simplify directly into VirusTotal, perhaps opening up the graph view, extending that investigation here, being able to view all of the related IOCs so that we can potentially pull those back into Simplify if we wish to do so as part of that alert triage process. So as we keep looking down here quickly, I did want to show we're also from the queries that we've executed against Chronicle, able to go ahead and visualize, aggregate some of the information that we've pulled back. Again, not presenting raw information to the analyst, but giving them usable information so that they're able to quickly enact a decision regarding the next step on this case. Should we need to pivot out to Chronicle, we can also use the URL bar down here at the bottom. So very quickly, before moving on from here, I did want to quickly discuss the views that we have available here. You saw the layout, the way the information was presented to the analyst for that particular use case. The information aggregated, the playbook steps that ran, make a lot of sense for that particular use case, and the visualizations that we utilized. For different use cases, you have the ability to customize this view. For a phishing use case, different steps that are going to execute, different information that's accumulated, giving you the ability to customize that view, ensuring that regardless of the type of alert that is being triaged, it is only the relevant information, enabling the fast action of that analyst that we are in fact presenting on the case overview screen. So quickly now, jumping back here, what we're able to see is from that playbook step that was set to manual, we see our pending action question right at the top here, surfacing that question to the analyst, allowing them to enact the decision. We can go ahead and either click the View Playbook button, again giving us that context with regards to what additional actions we'll execute depending on the answer given, but of course not wanting to add in those extra mouse clicks, giving the analyst also the ability to go ahead and enact their decision from here. As we move down through here, didn't pick up on one of the details there quickly, but we do see in fact that from the enrichments that came back, Javier is currently a member of our contractor group. He did in fact have an execution on his workstation of a file that was deemed malicious by VirusTotal. Probably appropriate to go ahead and escalate this for additional triage and remediation by another tiered analyst currently within the platform. All right, really I was able to touch on some of the highlights here of Chronicle, of Simplify. It does go much, much deeper than this. We have lots of booth staff, myself included, that would be happy to dive in deeper with you. Please feel free to come up to us and ask any questions whatsoever. It's been a pleasure. Thank you, everyone.
Let's give it up one more time for Arno Los, everyone. The UI is so immaculate. Like you just want to, like you could eat breakfast off of it. It's very beautiful. The UI is clean and simple. That's where we get some of our ravest reviews. See it up close at a demo, and we'll see you all in 45 minutes for another stirring rendition of something security related. And he looked like an oil baron. Hi, gentlemen. Hi, sir. Hi, center. Hi, sir.